Hello, hello, and welcome to Transparent, where we do interviews and not interviews. My name is LaKendra Ford, and I am so happy that I have my brothers here with me. Can y'all all say hello to PB Dolla Entertainment? Hey, bros.
Hey,
Hey, hey,
what
hey.
up?
What's up?
We in the building. We still
Yeah.
deliver.
Still delivered.
No,
Listen. I gotta talk to our friends at Transparent because this means so much that y'all decided to join the platform. One, not only because I love y'all collectively, but I love y'all individually. Y'all are a strong part of my life path. I admire y'all, and I just wanted the audience to get to know these brothers because y'all are exemplary of everything that I want this platform to stand for. Not only are y'all positive brothers, y'all entrepreneurs, y'all mogul minded, y'all been doing this for a very, very long time. And I wanted this show to be about brotherhood and accountability because nobody I've ever watched exemplified those factors the way that y'all movement have. For over 2 decades, Transparent, these brothers have been making moves together. These are just three that represent a whole body of members. These are just the generals that started the movement, and I'm just so proud of them. So, without further ado, I wanted to introduce y'all to Stephon Long, Kiandre Gillespie, Mike
what
Charles
up?
Nahounou, PB Dollars
Yeah.
Entertainment. Hey,
Right.
Let's
That's
get
right.
it.
what's
Let's get
up,
First
it.
off,
bros?
first
We
off,
here.
first off, before we go on, PB Dollar Entertainment stands for People Building Dreams off Lifelong Association. So just
Mm,
from there, you know what type of time we on. You know what I'm saying?
Gang,
absolutely,
gang.
Yeah.
absolutely. I had to let them know how I met. I met these fellas. Like, listen, we over 2 decades strong, and we are growing. And I'm so proud that one, we're alive to sit here at this
Right.
moment and be able to look at life in retrospect and say, God, we made it. First and foremost, we made it. And I just look at y'all and I'm so proud that y'all are each individually representing manhood to the fullest, and Transparent, y'all need to know these are husbands, they're fathers, community leaders, beyond being moguls and entrepreneurs. So, with all that being said, I just want to throw it at, I'm going to refer to them first by the names we know them as in entertainment. I'm going to throw this one to my boy Humble. Humble, how are you?
Mhm.
Uh, I'm not complaining. It's another day above ground. So we here, you know.
Yes, yes, yes. Humble has the most unique voice in the whole world, as y'all could already hear.
Whole world.
The
That's
whole
Mr.
world.
Raspy.
The,
Yeah.
a lot of us know him. Yes, a lot of us know him as Humble, but his name is Stephon Long. He comes from a good family. A lot of members I grew up with as a child. So I know he came from good stock, good people. And it's just by God's design that he became like a brother to me. So, Humble, could you tell us just a little bit about how you were raised up and what you're into now?
Okay, Rose. So first of all, I grew up in Bowles Park. like, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a project on the north end of Hartford. Um,
Project.
you know, that was my stomping grounds for 25 years. You know what I mean? Um, but in the process of growing up in Bowles Park, my mother, with the schools being so close to the project, my mother was like, "No, we ain't having it." So
Right,
she shipped me
right.
out. She shipped me out to she shipped me out to Manchester real fast. My mom, she shipped me out to Manchester, and I, honestly, like, probably one of the best things that happened to me because I wouldn't have met my bro. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
when I met Keek, we was what, seventh grade.
Facts.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Seventh grade, and like I said, Major League Football, and we used to have jokes like this dude was unstoppable. Like he was unstoppable. So they they ran a trick play on us. And like, this was like really my first time really playing organized football. And Keith was like a veteran at this, you know what I mean? So it was like
Yeah.
they ran a reverse play, and I was playing corner, and before I knew it, I thought I was chasing Keith. Before I knew it, he was going up the other side of the field. I just stood there. I just stood there and watched him run. Like, I ain't chasing him, man. And we talked about it in school when we got back to school. Like, I said, bro, I wasn't chasing you, bro. You're too far away. Like, you know what I mean? But
Fast.
it was like like my upbringing from what Bowles Park was, which was like, I grew with my brothers. We was outside, but we wasn't outside. We was just little knuckleheads running around. To whereas like I got to Manchester, experienced a different life, and got into the organized sports, and kind of took things a little bit more serious. Met a whole different group of friends. It was just, it honestly opened up my world to music. Like when I got to Manchester, I didn't know that. I wasn't rapping when but once I got out to Manchester, and I got connected with certain people, and it was just like me and Keek. I started rapping with Keek, and you know what I mean. That was history. You know what I
History.
mean?
History in the
That was
making,
history.
brother.
That's
That was it.
history. Exactly. Thank you for throwing the ball because I was going right back to him. Now, Keek, who we talking
Absolutely.
about is Broadway Fatal, Mr. Rise and
Yes, yes.
Man.
Grind, like this is Mr. Kiandre Gillespie. Bruh, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm great. Blessed. Happy to be here, you know?
I'm
You know,
happy
just
to have you here,
happy.
man.
I'm
This man
happy.
probably got like 10 different names, but all of them suit him so well, right? This
That's
is
it.
yes, so well. So just a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and what are you into today?
Okay, so with me, I'm also a project baby. I came from Bellevue Square. I'm from one of the biggest families in Hartford, the Gillespie family. My grandmother had 13 kids.
Wow.
Um, and just
Crazy.
growing up, we just ran around, man. We had fun. We was project babies. We were jumping off the Myers, the buildings. We was jumping, doing backflips on the. We was pissing in the hallway. All that, like we
All
that's how
that.
we grew up. That's how we grew
Typical
up
Right.
project
for
Right.
baby.
real. You know what I'm saying? And we I also played a lot of sports. I played football and basketball, and I excelled at that. And as I grew, my mom, we moved around different places. So I lived on Burton Street in Hartford. I lived on Kent Street in Hartford. I lived on Greenfield Street. I lived on a lot of streets. That's how I know so many people. I lived on the South End with the Spanish, the Puerto Ricans. That's how I got Puerto Rican family. I got Puerto Rican friends.
Right.
So that's how I grew up. From there I moved out to Manchester. You know what I'm saying? My mother don't like me to say this, but yo, she got Section 8. It helped her. She got
Yeah.
that Section 8. It took us out of the projects, out of the hood. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But I was still going back, dealing with my cousins. That was they was animals. They was vicious.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? But I
They
was
was
still in the
outside.
mix.
They was
So I had
outside.
I had one foot in, one foot out. You know what I'm saying? But from there, I I always did when I was young. I always did music because my older brother did music.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a group called Dysfunctional Family. That was the name of our group. Me and my older brother. So
Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
yeah, this is before this was this real history. So I was like 12. So I remember winning the me and my cousin Gleek, we won the what was it? Camp Current. We won the Camp Current talent show. We we,
Mm.
we did the Flavor Flav shit. We won that. Then from there I was rocking with my older brother. My brother like 5 years older than me, 6 years older than me. And
Wow.
he was
Ahead of
bringing
your
me to
time.
all the yeah, he was bringing me to all the college parties when I was like, I had to be like 12, 13, but I was rocking the shows. We was shutting them down. We was winning the talent shows, doing all that. And from there, so I always was rocking. I had a basement. I had the turntables. I had the music in the basement. And that's where Humble used to come through. And I'm like, yo, We got to record.
Right.
We was recording in the basement. We was doing everything. You know,
Wow.
so from there, we was doing that. We was winning talent shows. We was rocking. And we was the hardest in the school. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what they say in high school, I
Yeah.
was the man, homie. In high school, we was them
Yeah.
guys. So
That was it.
so that from there, that
That was
goes
it.
into, dang, we them guys, we doing music. We bagging all the bad females. We just being kids.
Y'all thought y'all was it, huh?
Yeah. Listen, we were just being kids. We
Now we
you know,
was.
having a good time. So bang, we go from there. So
Yeah.
I ended up meeting this girl. I don't want to say her name, but I ended up meeting this girl. So I'm talking to her, whatever. And we involved. She like, they kept saying, you look like this other guy that blah blah blah. This other guy. So I'm like, who this other guy they keep talking about? So then I find out it's Mike Childs. So me and Mike Childs end up dealing with the same girl.
Oh wow.
And then I find out he was nice with the music, and I was nice with the music. Then we end up making a song called Jump Off. That was the first song we ever made. But before that, Being Humble was having whole album. We was dropping album. We was like, really, we never put it out though. I don't think we never put the music out.
No, we ain't never listen. It was just for our recording purposes. It was just like we called ourselves Black Aces back then.
Yeah, we did.
So
Yeah, we did.
that's what Humble and Fatal. That's where the name originally came from. Way back, I'm talking about ninth grade.
Yeah.
Like ninth grade, we really started, and then like he said, we used to be in the basement, and we got so much. If we could find that music, we had so much.
It's classic. It's
But
classic.
listen to this. While that was going on, while we were still doing that, I was throwing some of the biggest parties in high school in my basement. I was throwing some of the biggest events in high school. So I went from doing that. I was throwing the parties in the basement. I had to be like, I was young. Then from there, I took it. I did something at Masonic Temple. So I took it from the basement and I did it at a temple in Manchester.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did that. I ended up packing that. Then I think it was my 11th grade year or whatever, I ended up bringing it to the Elks Club in Hartford. And it was crazy. I packed that and I was like, yo, I'm on to something. I got the music. I'm doing parties.
Crazy.
You know,
History.
Right,
it was history.
Well, we're gonna get into that because
Yeah,
they have to
definitely.
understand. We just start, and I just want transparent y'all to know what they come from because I want you to know. Listen, let's throw it to Mike Charles because thank God for that sister who couldn't make up her mind between the two of you because that made y'all get together and find out that this was musical legacy being made. So, Mike Charles, how are you, bruh?
I'm great. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm blessed. You know.
Amen.
It's a great feeling to be here in 2022 with our minds on right, our heads on straight. That's a blessing, you know. Being able to come back home when you say I'll be right back and you come back home, that's a blessing. So we now in a space where we understand how to appreciate the little things in life, just like the big things in life. You know? My story is the same. I wasn't a project baby, I was a hood baby, right? So but my aunt used to live in Bowes Park though. So me and Steph didn't even know we was crossing paths. You know what I'm saying? We was just crossing paths. That's why I learned my favorite cereal in Bowes Park. That was fruit, Captain Crunch.
Oh yeah. Talk
That's
about
it.
Bro.
I was in Bowes Park. Yeah. So I mean,
that was it.
Yep. So I mean, like I was raised in the church, you know. So you know me, I love my Jesus.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I was raised in the church, and you know the thing about that is like, you know, the church is in Hartford, right? Mm-hmm. So I go there on Sundays. I sing in the choir. I had a group, but then I had to go back to the hood. Real life. You got Monday, Saturday.
Mike, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I was raised in the church too. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't like going, but
Listen. Let's be real.
That's a big part of
Most black families, we were raised in the church. If you don't have a story about being 7 years old,
All of us.
hungry
Yeah.
at church, wishing
Yeah.
you had a
Right.
peppermint, and your grandmother,
Yeah.
your mother telling you can't eat nothing, then I don't know. You didn't have the
Fact.
full
Put it
black
out.
experience.
Yes, you're
Put
right
it out.
about that.
definitely.
That's a fact. You know, I think that's the reason why we blessed in this way, because we always been ourselves. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, with me, it was a big secret that I did music unless you was in my church, right? Because nobody know. I didn't even really know my talent really until I decided to pursue my talent. But, you know, I was raised in the church. I came out, you know, I lived in Sterling. I lived in the hood. Like, I lived in the middle of Hartford, Sterling Street off Albany Avenue. My mom used to live on Vine Street, my grandmother on Vine Street, Deerfield Avenue. Then I moved to Blue Hills off Blue Hills Avenue, Pembroke Street. Then I moved to Newton Street off Park Street. So that's like, you know, I got my Midas, I got my hood, I got North End, South End too, you know. So that's another reason why I feel like we had a good buzz, because like Keek said, in high school he was the man, homie. You know, the other part he ain't say is nowadays we still a man, homie. That's his bars, right? And that's because we always knew people, and then we was connected, because like he said, you got big families, we got a big community, you know, and we just blessed. I don't want to make it seem like we just know what we doing. I just feel like we had God have a light on us for whatever reason, for a particular reason. So now I feel like we at a place where we could use it for a powerful purpose. It's like, that's why when you hit us up, it's like it's clear the schedule, right? Because we gotta.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because
Because
loyalty is the big thing for us. You feel me? Like, and just for the record, this is the first official Papergirl according to blockchain rules. You know,
thank you, because I was waiting. Y'all know.
you feel me?
Y'all know.
You know? So
Listen. Transparent.
First lady of the
come on,
Dollar
man.
Boys, man.
Talk
First
that.
lady.
You know. So
I
lady.
appreciate y'all, brothers, and
You know?
I think that's to our friends in Transparent. This is what you're watching right here, and what you're probably feeling is like a bunch of siblings just getting together and talking.
That's what it is.
Because you know, all of us, besides being me, also being a project kid, but from New York at that time. When I moved to Connecticut, it was a different type of life, and the only thing that I had that kept me was music. And it was fortunate for me that my big bros, my mentors, Chase and Mello.
Shout out to Chase.
Yes, shout out to Chase and Mello.
Yeah.
They were men enough to
Shout out
take
to
the
Mello
young.
too.
Yes. They took us young ones that had aspirations. They had facilities, studios, and they would let us come in and rock. And just for that reason is how I met Mike Charles, and through Mike Charles met Kiandre, and through Kiandre met Stephon and the rest of the group, Royal, all of them, everybody, y'all, these all
Royal J.O.
Yes,
No.
yes.
C Jack, TH, we do.
It has truly been a beautiful, beautiful journey, and I thank y'all brothers for traveling it together and with me also. But now everybody knows how you came up. So now I want to get into the grid of why I thought this was an important gathering for us to do, because especially nowadays, it's tough out here on these streets, you know, and a lot of times as a black woman, when we hear about our black men, it's somewhat into a negative light. And a lot of times people try to say things to me about black men, and I said, I can tell you different. And y'all are all part of the reason why I can tell them different. Because I understood that I watched a group of young men as young as 16, 17, 18, 19 years old sit at a round table, sit and get offices to do business, and as teenagers and young men have it organized, had a plan, had accountability, had brotherhood that extended way further than blood, because blood don't make you family. It makes you a
Right.
relative. Family is
Right.
built by loyalty. So I wanted
Yes.
y'all to come on here because I was tired of telling people, no, I know different. I know my black men are out here striving. I know my black men are out here being productive. And I know some black men that's out there feeding back into the community. So I wanted to have y'all, please, y'all lock into these brothers' faces, because when we tell y'all how the powerful things that they are doing, you would say it's nothing but the glory of God and the covering of our ancestors' prayers over
Amen.
us, that we're able to sit here today looking back and say we made it. So I thank y'all for staying the course, because y'all are going to be exemplary for so many people to watch and say, you know what? Yes, this is who we are. This is what we come from. This is what we stand for. So with that being said, that just puts me in the mind of you, Kiandre, because one of the
Yeah.
things, speaking of giving back, you mentioned that you are an athlete, but
Yeah. Yeah.
what I'm admiring about the Gillespie brand, I know P Dollar. Let's just talk about that Gillespie brand real quick.
It's a mob.
It's like a mob of talent, a
Yeah.
mob of
Yeah.
talent.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
So when
Yeah.
I watch
So
you
True.
establishing these sports leagues, and I just be like, man, you're doing your
It's
thing. You're doing your
it's in the
thing.
blood.
So
yeah.
what made you get into, I know you have some athletes, but what made you get into coaching and sports?
So basically with me, like honestly, I'm not really a coach. I'm
Oh,
just a I'm just a motivation. I'm just like, rise and grind is a lifestyle.
mm-hmm.
So it started with my son, Kai. So Kai was born, Kiandre Gillespie. Well, honestly, it didn't start with him. It started with me being in a big family, and my brother, my cousins. They pushed me. They beat me at everything. They wouldn't let me win. No matter what, they wouldn't let me win. So from video games to basketball to football so I just instilled that in my friends. I was like, yo, I'm not letting you win nothing. You gotta work hard for it. You gotta if you beat me, you beat me.
Right,
They
right,
say now they say, yo, I swear now they say, yo, you're a good loser. Cause if I lose, I'll be like, yo, you earned that, bro.
right,
You know
right,
what
right.
I'm saying? I respect that. So basically my son was coming up. I pushed my son. My son ended up going. He midget football. They went to Florida national championship. Then from there, he ended up going to high school. He got a full scholarship at UConn. So that's
Mm,
one. My niece. Well, I'm gonna start with my nephew because my niece had the biggest accomplishment, but
mm-hmm.
the book not closed yet. So
Right, right.
my nephew, he was an all-state basketball. He went to college, full scholarship again. And then from there, he now he's coaching. He got a coaching job in college.
Oh, that's
My
Wow.
what's up.
niece, my niece, she was the Gatorade Player of the Year 2 times in a row in Connecticut. Um, she went to Florida State. She ended up being an All-American there, and then she got drafted to the WNBA.
Mm.
So
Wow.
I feel like, and all this happened from us just pushing each other. From as kids, my brother never let me win. He pushed me. I had to win. I had to grind to get to that.
Right,
And
right,
now I got a younger kid. I got a son-in-law, so I'm gonna push them same way. And
right,
now I'm
right.
thinking about doing some coaching also. Like I never really coached because I couldn't coach my son because I couldn't coach on the team that my son was on because
Oh,
I'm so focused on him and what he got to do right, where his fall steps at. So from there,
well, you
I got
you fooled me, because I
yeah.
know
No, I mean, but
you
if you
was
look at
coaching
Rise
from
and
the
Grind,
sidelines then, because you have not missed a beat. You have not
nah,
missed
you
a beat,
can't,
and that's
you can't.
that's why everyone rise and grind. You'll hear that a lot because we live by that. I don't work out without having rise
Definitely.
and grind on me.
Yeah,
You know,
but this you got to understand is not a workout thing. Rise and
it's
Grind is
not
not a workout thing. It's a lifestyle. So what made me create Rise and Grind was coming from Hartford. I seen a lot of lazy people. I seen a lot of people that just, they put the blame on other people. You know what I'm
right.
saying? My thing is, if you get up and get it, no matter how you get it, you could get, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hustlers that wear this because they see the rooster and the chicken. They like, yo, I'll get up and get chicken. But
Right.
that's not that wasn't my motivation behind it. My motivation was get up and get to a bag, however you know how to get to a bag, or get, just get up and move.
Right.
I done
Right.
been to the hospital and doctors like, I love that because I do it every day.
Absolutely.
And what made me creative was when we did a tour in Africa. So we went out to Africa on a tour, and for some reason they loved the music, but they wanted our clothes. They wanted what we had on. So I
Right.
was like, wow. I said that was a light switch. I was
Right.
like, yeah, that,
Right. Well, the
you
good
know,
thing about it is, from a consumer perspective, that
yeah,
can mean anything that motivates that individual. And for
exactly.
when I put my apparel on, it just reminds me that you own today. With God's
Yeah,
grace, you own today. You own your decisions. Get up,
Nice.
rise, and go grind. So I appreciate
especially as
you for that. I appreciate you. But you said something just now that made me think I got to throw the ball right over here to my boy, Mike Charles, because you said that you traveled to Africa, and I happen to know that Mike Charles has roots there, family roots there. So, bro, can you tell us? I know that you're doing a lot with your businesses and so forth, especially with blockchain. I'm watching. I'm not there yet, but okay.
Blockchain
blockchain
rules.
rules.
And y'all all are highly successful in that. But can you tell us a little bit about what you've been working on lately and the impact you think it's making?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just like how I got a big family out here, and because my mom, she's Jamaican, she met
Mm-hmm.
my father in Bridgeport, and he
Mm-hmm.
was brilliant. He was brilliant in engineering, so he thought his way out of the trap. But
Mm-hmm.
he could tell you that when we talk about a trap, a real hood, that was in Africa. I'm talking about
Right.
in the mud, like dirty, So he thought he was one of them. He's one of them, just like you see on TV. Like we went to that area in his village, and he was successful. So he got his way out, and he got a scholarship. It wasn't sports. It was his brain
Right.
power. So of course I inherit that, but I inherit my musical talents from my mom, who sang. She don't sing,
Mm-hmm.
she sang, right?
Same.
Mhm.
So I got both, and then I mean, obviously I'm athletic too. I played for Bloomfield. I'm a Warhawk. I'm a champion. I played underneath all of that.
Okay.
So but Africa now is like I got a lot of family in Africa. Like I got a tribe. I got a few tribes out there. And
Mm.
that was like all my father. They was like my father was the one who had to pretty much feed the whole family. So he
Wow.
made it out, So he ended up, making it. He was like, in the blockchain rules, they say we Satoshi in music because I was the first to make music and tokenize it as or mint it as an NFT. But he was the first to be a local um entrepreneur to get a government contract in the oil and gas industry. So he was the
Wow.
big shot. And that was in 2008, the year of blockchain rules, right?
Wow.
So that's crazy. That's crazy. So that came with a lot of happiness, but there was a lot more envy than he knew, you know. So fast forward 8 years, he passes away, 2016. I'm really fast forwarding because this everybody here, but I had to basically, I had some humongous shoes to fill, right?
Hmm.
So I decided that's not what I'm going to do. I can't fill his shoes. I can just, maintain his legacy and then build mine and have my own shoes, right? And
Right.
that was a good decision because when I was out there, before that happened, I mean, I could say when we went on tour, we made some connections. So that way, when I went out there and did business, that's pretty much where blockchain rules was really born because, like, while people use or think of blockchain for just like cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, to NFTs, I was using it for data. I was
Oh,
using it for data because I had to run the company 5,000 miles away, right? I couldn't really go there and just hang out in Africa because, yeah, they didn't like how I moved because I was moving, right? So I never really went out there. I never told them when I'm coming, nor do I tell them when I'm leaving. And I pressed the data aspect of everything.
Right.
So, you know, when I was out there, Africa, you know, that's the motherland, you know,
Yes.
but people think of Africa with just, you know, lions and tigers and that's it. But no, there's civilization there, you know, and
Right.
especially where my father from, which is Ivory Coast, West Africa, you know. So going there and then being able to bring my authentic self there, music wise, and then learning business, it just all came together, right? So of course, you know, when I was out there, we was on tour. PB Dolla was on tour. You know, we were able to like really experience a different side of life. Because what happened is when you're from, especially any hood, I ain't just gonna say Hartford.
Right.
Their world is like 20 block radius, right? They don't really know anything else outside of that. We were fortunate to go on actual tour, like before
Yeah.
we, you
Yeah.
know what I'm
I
saying,
remember.
like. Yeah. So yeah, of course you remember. Matter of fact, you know, it's the people, you know. So you know, I'm talking about Germany. I mean, we went there. Shout out to Ryan Leslie. We was out. We got put on to that tour like really from him, because he heard, was it We Deliver Young Classics?
I think it was Young Classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classics,
So Young
yeah.
Classics is the, because really PB Dolla originally was Paperboys Entertainment. So Paper Boys is like all of us, really.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
I'm on here, right?
Yo,
So
but that's the misconception though, that
I know
we didn't even know that though when we
we
was
didn't
coming
know
up.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
We didn't know
So
that.
really,
We was just moving.
really is like Paperboy Mike Childs, Paperboy Fatal, Paperboy Humble, Paperboy Fabe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
we didn't know that back then, but now
Yeah,
we
we
know.
did. Now we know. Yeah,
It's a
It's
that's
a
brand.
crazy.
movement. It's transpired into so much. I'm seeing that y'all just bringing new levels to it each year, and like, and speaking of just building up families, I'm happy that y'all got to tell about your family, what you're from, what the legacy that built you all. Because even our boy Steph, him and his wife are building a legacy now. We were just talking about it
Right.
earlier with Classy Cats. For
Shout out to
y'all,
Classy Cats.
yes, Classy Cat. They have taken at
There you
least
go.
50 children, and they're in the dance and majorettes, things that's going to set them up. And they just came back from Florida.
That's huge.
Yes,
Just came
Nice.
back. Two second
I can't
place
hear
trophies
you.
and one third place. You know,
Say that again, brother.
They had 2 second place trophies, 1 third place. It was amazing. You know, like and this, like I said, this is all from, you know, helping my wife become a dreamer. You know what I mean? Like it when I came, like, okay, when me and her got together, it was like I was humble already. You know what I'm saying? We PB Dolla, we already started the legacy. So
Right.
my dream was already like we did it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Ice cream man.
ice cream
Ice
man.
cream
You know what I
man.
mean? Like
Come
all
on, man.
all the different things that
Hey.
we did. Like, I mean, we was what, 21, 22, performing at Six Flags. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These was the things that we did. Like our life was like the life we led at 21, 22. Like people would have killed for that life. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
I mean,
bro.
I
Hey,
mean,
bro.
like,
It's
Hey,
very
bro. That's why we so mature though, because we've
right.
been
right.
through that
Right.
for
Facts.
So
real.
it's like, you know, I knew that, you know, I already, like, I didn't live my dream out, but I lived it. You know what I mean? So
That's dope.
talking to her, I'm like, you know, well, what you want to do? And so, you know, her vision, her goal was always like, she wanted to start a dance team. She wanted to own a dance studio. So I'm like, you know, she was working she was working at Jefferson Radiology. And I remember her calling me one day, and this one, bro, had got me into like this. Listen, we so connected. Like I was at a group home working with Keith. Keith got into the state. He called me like, bro, I'm gonna get you in the state. Keith got me in the state, but like, listen, that's a whole other story though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You got a few people
so,
in the state.
So, but
Listen,
here it is.
my
Like,
goal is to pull my brothers up, bro.
here it
Always.
is. Like, I'm working for the state. She working for Jefferson Radiology. She's not happy. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm like, man, I got this thought process where it's like, yo, if you ain't happy, why you there? You know what I mean?
Right.
If I don't like something, I'm out. I don't care. I don't care how much you pay. It don't matter to me. If I don't like it, I'm going. You know what I mean? Like, so I said, yo, listen, sit down, draw it out. We'll figure it out. I said, but don't keep waking up for a job that ain't beneficial to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So long story short, boom, like, by God's grace, we had looked into a few studios, and one day she just happened to be out and about, and she drove by, she's like, babe, I just saw this space, and I'm like, all right, what is it looking like? She was like, I'm gonna call the number. So she called the number, and I kid you not, dude answers the phone. He like, yeah, he give us the square footage. He's like, I opened the door. Matter of fact, he didn't even say I opened the door for you. He said, come pick up the key so you can go open the door up and look at it.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Bro, can I pause you for 1 second? Because I think it's a connection that's even deeper. Where was that location? Was that in East Hartford?
That was East Hartford.
On Main
That was East Hartford. On Main Street.
How deep is this? I was raised in that location because that was my family's business years ago while I was there. The same exact address.
Wow.
That's fun.
That's crazy.
That's fun.
The same exact.
That's fun.
I went to that diner eating every day.
Right.
That's crazy.
It goes around. That was
we're in alignment.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was my family's
So,
building. From that point, we built from that place, and was able to
branch
off, do great things, and expand in different stores stuff throughout Connecticut. So look how God works.
He definitely works.
It worked out. It worked out. Like I said, it was a starting point for us, and we took a blow when COVID hit. Boom, but I believe it or not, right? It was like COVID hit, and she was trying to figure it out, and I'm like, all right, we gonna figure it out. COVID started to fade away, and there was a buzz there, though. You know what I mean? So it was like it was already like a good aftertaste left in a lot of people's mouths. So when COVID kind of faded away, people started to filter back in. You know what I mean? And believe it or not, like it opened us up to our new location. And our new location. Now, mind you, going from let's say 900 square feet, maybe not even, maybe 600 square feet. You know, to moving out to Bloomfield to like an industrial location with 2,500 square feet. You know what I mean? Like
expansion, baby.
And not being sure, how the rent was gonna get paid because we wasn't even sure if we had enough dancers.
You ain't gotta worry about that.
Faith, baby.
Here it go. Like, that's all it was. So I told her, she called me. We went and looked at it, and I'm like, yeah, I like it. We'll take it. You know what I mean? And another one of those situations, like we gave this lady the money, she gave us the keys, and here we are, like 50-something dancers later. You know what I mean? So like, it's a dollar in a dream. You know, my wife, that's my wife's thing. Like a dollar in a dream. And there's days where like she'd be like, I don't know, and I'd be like, man, there ain't no time for you to not know. Like, just keep moving. You know what I mean? Like,
it's crazy, bro.
You said a mouthful, bro, and that just leads me right to another reason. In case I run out of reasons, y'all let me know. But another reason I admire my brothers here is because they already listen. For those of you that don't know, these fellas are like the Parliament of Connecticut. When I say Parliament, it's like if they ran for government, they would probably win. Because many people can draw thousands of people and
Say it
promotion.
again.
Loyal.
Jeez.
Right.
Can I say that again?
Right.
Not many
Say
people
it
on this
again.
earth can draw thousands at the drop of a dime like these brothers here. And a lot of that is attributed to the fact, one, they have integrity. Two, anything that they do is quality. Anything that they say they're going to make happen always happens. Always
Hmm.
happens. It's always a safe environment for people to be free. And besides that, these men understand the power of family. I'm happy we got into how y'all was raised, because now they are all three of them, husbands, fathers, the heads of their family. They're building a
That's
legacy.
it.
So no, all our brothers are not out here gang banging. Even though we all come
Nah.
from the streets, we have choices. They found their partners.
That's
This man,
it.
it takes a strong man to stand behind his wife's vision.
Facts. That's a big fact.
Let me say
That's
something
it.
to the people though. All that street shit is played out, man. If you
Oh yeah,
still playing in the streets,
Yeah.
that's 80s, man. It's time to move up, man. Like, and what I would say, like all of us, we got businesses. We got $1 million business, $1 million/billion business. Just give us time. That's what
yeah.
that
Yeah.
round table was for.
That's it.
When we've been doing that round table when we was
Right.
19, 17, that's what we created. We could sit at any table right now. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why we didn't get a cash money deal was because we was from Connecticut. If we
I
was
was just
Right.
gonna say,
anywhere, we would have got a
that.
cash
Yep.
money deal. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's another
Connecticut was
thing.
so
I'm sorry.
Connecticut small. It was small. You gotta think we had DJ Envy before DJ Envy was DJ Envy 2 times. We had
Yep.
Clinton Sparks on a mixtape.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? DJ Famous.
Right.
All these
That's
big
what.
New
Shout out to
Yorkers
Fame
and
Up.
Boston, and they was coming rocking with us before all that. So we should be able to sit on Breakfast Club because we
Yeah.
knew Envy before Envy was Breakfast
Yeah.
Club Envy. We knew
Right.
Clinton Sparks before he was Clinton Sparks.
Yep.
Right.
Lie, you was in the studio with Clinton Sparks.
Yeah. You was in
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the
So
thing
the only
about
reason
it.
I'm telling you, the only reason why we don't got a cash money deal was because we was from a small state that was
I want to hop
shadowed
in
by
on that.
New York and Boston.
Let
But
Law
I
go
got
ahead.
Right.
one for you. I got one for
I'm gonna be
y'all.
honest.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Jump on in there, Law.
Maybe
Uh-huh.
the reason y'all wasn't supposed to be in the industry the way y'all thought you was is because y'all was supposed to do exactly what you're doing now. Y'all
Yep.
building industries.
Right.
Yep.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts.
Right.
That's it.
That's
Like,
important.
let me
Y'all
say,
have
let me hop in.
employees under y'all. Y'all are the business.
Yo,
Fact.
I say this. I feel like if we had to tell not a Connecticut story, but a New England story,
Mm-hmm.
7 states, PB Dolla is the only people that should be telling that story. You know, we connected with all of them. Shout out to Sean Medina out in Providence, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Chubb
We
out
got
in
Yes, sir.
Boston.
yeah. Oh, my man Chaba in Boston. Like these people that we don't really like to talk about ourselves too tough. So we like when other people talk for us because it's better. But you could just ask anybody what we saying. When all these we not name dropping, we just telling facts. But you go ask them. You're gonna check it, you know?
Well,
And like you said, it's real.
listen, y'all don't have to say much as long as I'm anywhere on the scene.
Yeah.
Because I'm always going to sing y'all
You know,
praises. And listen, y'all know my history and y'all know the things I've managed to achieve, even in entertainment. But one of my proudest accomplishments, y'all know I'll never let go. I'm the original Papergirl. Because guess
Facts.
what? We was grinding since then.
Yep. Hey, La, you was writing my songs. You went Chase before I even started writing songs.
And yeah,
I
you
was
came up and just blew everybody's mind. I'm like,
yeah.
let me. This man,
Yeah. I
Michael
was
Charles, his voice is so unique. If I had to say it, I never understood why you were not all number one multi-platinum artist, besides the fact that God had a better plan that was higher than that. Because Michael Charles.
I just want that song. What if, man?
Man, what if is
What
crazy.
if was
I mean,
crazy?
I feel like right now,
Oh
like
my
with the
God,
I
the
man!
don't
world is
think y'all
going
can
through.
hang up. I don't think it's time to hang up because y'all listen. Listen, everyone who's
Dang.
listening on Transparent, if you're listening now, I need y'all to look up PB Dolla Entertainment. Listen. Y'all already got hundreds of thousands of views. It's not like somebody really missing who y'all are. But for anybody under a rock who would not know who these gentlemen are, just because they're, no pun intended, being humble, I need y'all to go
Yeah,
check
I
them
was
out.
about to say that. I was about to say that. I think
Yeah,
that
I
hurt
need
us a
y'all to
little
go
bit
check
because
them out.
It
we were
did.
so humble. But to be honest, I'm gonna tell you. To be honest, this is what a lot of people don't know. We was in rooms with Usher raving over our music. We was in the rooms with Tommy Mottola raving over our music. We was in a room with the dude who signed Young Jeezy. We go in the room and the dude was telling us like, yo, when you come in here, they tell you like not to really rock the people music. The A&Rs, when you play your music, they be like stiff like this. This dude was in there rocking to our music. We like, damn, this ain't what they told us. You know what I'm saying? So our problem was we wanted a Cash Money deal. We didn't want to sign to somebody.
Yeah, y'all
You know what
did
I'm saying? We were signing the next selection, Ryan Leslie, that was connected with Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? People was hitting us like, yo, we heard y'all sign the Bad Boy.
He was a hitman.
Because Puff was
He's one
asking
of
about
Diddy
it.
hitmen.
No, because here's
Yeah,
the thing
yeah.
about it. If what was important to y'all, and I'm sharing with them, and when he keep on saying a Cash Money deal, he's not talking about Cash Money Records. They're talking about if we already making this type of money for our music, doing it independently, you have to come with it. They were requiring the labels to come with it because they already had the bandwidth and the revenue stream that was making basically a livelihood off of their music and their talents already. So while
Without
we have
But
artists,
hey, Kendra, let me bounce off that though, right?
mm-hmm.
Listen, I am talking about a Cash Money Records deal. You know why? Because they had
Oh,
one of the biggest record deals in history. We wanted the biggest
oh,
record deal. We didn't
it was
want no
20
little.
million at that
It
time.
was we wanted 20 million. We wasn't playing no games.
right.
We was
21 would have
like
did
we
as
was like
well.
we wasn't playing no games. We was like, yo,
Nah.
we got Humble,
Yep.
that was crazy.
Yep.
We had
Right.
Joe and that was crazy. J.O.
Yep.
We had Royal. We had
Yep.
Mike Childs. We had me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We had artists that all could go platinum.
Yep.
So
Right.
why wouldn't we get a Cash Money deal?
Because
Okay.
we
You
understood
know
the
what I'm saying?
business too.
I misunderstood the
Nah,
deal
but not only
versus
that,
the
let me hop in
label.
on that too, because when we did it, we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't even have MySpace like that. We was hand to hand. Like everybody who like that Young Classics album that we put out, that Humble's on, like that's a classic album that if people gonna
That's it.
start hearing that today, that album traveled from the 2000 we sold in one day at the Jamaican Parade, August 2003, right? All the way to New York, right? That's how we got our first actual like deal. And and that deal was like, we was hesitant with that because it was like they're just gonna pick, Paper Boys with Mike Charles and Fatal, but it ended up doing well because we learned the business. But the point is, our music traveled. So we validate, and there wasn't no real radio station like that when we was out here, right? It was like
Right.
89.9.
But
So we like I like when
but I,
Key say like we like Indians. So when the radio station
yeah,
came, they were supposed to just be our microphone to just amplify the voice we already had. But that's when we learned about politics. You feel
Right.
me? So nothing was ever given to us, even to this day. Like
that,
when you talked about the thousands that we packed, Key tell you about that. That's you got to do a repeat of that, right?
Right.
Is another
yeah,
repeat because of that, because it rained right on the last one, and it was
yeah,
still thousands, and they still want to come again. So you don't
Right.
just
yeah.
you can't fake that. You know what I mean? We
It's
got real
authentic. It's
respect.
you have an authentic,
Yeah,
reliable following, and that's why it's kind of going into all of your business. Are your businesses growing because of that following? Your individual businesses?
Yeah, I mean the businesses is definitely growing because of that, but also the timing of the market, everything because of like especially because of COVID. Now everything you got to learn how to run a digital business, right?
Right.
So now it's like, as Key said, like we're in a unique position because we such a small a small city with a big heart, right?
Right.
Or a small state with a big heart, because really, it's the tale of like 2 or 3 cities in Connecticut. It's a whole
Right.
different world in Stamford, and a whole different world in New Haven, Bridgeport area. Just like it's a new world in Hartford. So the thing is, Boston got to pass through Connecticut to get to New York, and vice versa. They
Right.
just we just needed to put a big enough rest stop in Connecticut where they got you don't go through Connecticut without stopping. And I
Right.
think,
Listen,
50 got a book, you know what I'm saying, that
I was
mentions
about to
that.
say that. I was
Yeah,
about to say that. I just read his book. He
go
said
into
he
it.
got his. He said 50 said he got his biggest buzz from Hartford. Like
Yeah.
Hartford showed him, and he put it in a book, so that can't be fake. Out of
Right.
all these states, why would you put in cities? Why would you put Hartford in your book? You know what I'm saying? I
It
read the
was
book and I
significant.
was wow.
It was significant. It was
It's
significant.
just the problem is sometimes like we don't think how the South think. Like you got to get behind your own too.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Your own like honestly, like right now in the events, like we bring out 2,000 people, 2,500 people. That's not happening in no other state like that. Not by no people that I done been to clubs and events. They might have 300,
500,
400. It's
300.
popping, it's
Yeah.
live, it's lit.
And that's
But
considered
when
to
you
be
bring out
success.
2,500 people,
Consistent, right?
you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
La.
That's different.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
It's
so
Yes.
like
different.
when you think about it, we got all the tools there, right? Because how could 50, that's 50, mention Hartford? Because we got the tools. Like we got all the tools to set up, the infrastructure is there. When we got a commercial radio station, we got an international airport, right?
Right.
We got the people don't think like that, right? We serious between number 1, number 4 markets, right? So when the pandemic hit, some of them big cities, they smartened up and say, hey, if we just go 5 steps to the left and register in Connecticut, our cost of doing business dropped by 70%, right?
Mm.
So over time is a timing thing, right? So that's why right now we're in a space where everybody's talking about blockchain and NFTs and stuff. But we, with PB Dolla Natives, was the first musicians, right, to
Right.
ever tokenize and sell. So we get that credit. So
Right.
when
Right.
everything started popping, it's coming right back. So that's why we right now we still feel like we just started. Like if you ask us when
You
we
you
had these back,
have you
yeah, we
have
just started. You know
yeah
what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's feel like we're in our prime right now, and
This
so we
this
we
All I
mature
can say,
because
all I
this
can
yo, go
say,
ahead, go ahead,
man,
go ahead.
I just want my brothers to be ready because right now is the time, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
This right now is a great time to be alive, bro. Trust
fact.
me.
What a
it
time
Trust
to
me.
be
is
That
alive.
it
dance,
is.
that dance studio gonna be $1 million business. Rising
Oh,
Grind gonna be
Millia,
$1 million
millia,
business.
millia.
You know what I'm saying?
I,
my phone died.
This podcast might be the biggest. You know what I'm
I told her
saying? It
that.
might be the
I'm
biggest for real.
listen, y'all, and I always this is something for
Transparent.
me. Transparent. This is something for me that's very meaningful because being in the projects, I used to sit on my grandmother's bed and watch Oprah.
Mm. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Say less.
And just to give y'all a little tidbit of how life and works is now I don't want to get too much, but put it like this: my next project, I had to have Oprah's network sign off on it. That level. So things are going full circle.
That's crazy.
Praise God.
Praise be to God.
Praise.
You know what I'm
Oh, I
saying?
think I humbled his phone died. Oh Lord. But
His
guess
phone.
what? Guess what? I don't believe in being long more than being strong. I
Yeah.
just need for y'all to. I want to have this statement because it means a lot to me from Nelson Mandela. He says, "The
Yeah.
ends you serve, The ends you serve that are selfish will take you no further than yourself. But the ends you serve that are for all and common will take you into eternity. And this was the premise for this whole platform today with you, my brothers, that I love truly. Because y'all, yes, y'all have served each other. Y'all have served your communities. You serve your family well. And I'm so proud of everything you've all accomplished. I'm proud of y'all for standing. You always have me in your corner rooting for you. You have the whole New England in your pocket. In your pocket. So I just wanted to have y'all on because I just thought, like I said earlier, that you are a great representation of brotherhood, men who made a pact to say that we won't let each other fail. And I think that alone is a major accomplishment. And for all those reasons, I celebrate y'all. I celebrate y'all and I celebrate y'all. Okay, so with that being said,
you looking like the glue right now. No, that's what it look like.
I'm telling you.
I'm
that's
just
what it look like.
I'm just
what it look like.
Man, let's get it.
But I done had y'all for a while. So I just want to end this with just a question from each of you. I want y'all to finish this statement. I'll start with you, Kiandre.
Yeah.
The legacy of Kiandre Gillespie will be found where?
The legacy of Kiandre Gillespie will be found where?
Yes.
I would say my kids. That's where my legacy gonna be at. And that's where it's gonna be found. You know why? Because it's never gonna stop.
Yes.
They're gonna instill it into each other because that's what I'm branding right now. And that's what this rise and grind, this PB Dolla, these round tables.
Yes.
They gonna keep going on. That's where the legacy going. My grandkids, kids.
Absolutely.
I can't say their name. I can't say who they're gonna be right now because they're not here, but they're gonna be talking about rise and grind. They're gonna be talking about PB Dolla. They're gonna be talking about this podcast. You know, so that's what I feel about that question.
Wonderful.
So I just jump right on that because it's the same question, right?
Yes, the same.
So I mean, let me say that PB Dolla officially turns 20 next year, 20 years old,
20.
officially, right?
On paper.
On paper, right? So
paper boys on paper.
Paper on paper, definitely children. Like, as a matter of fact, one of my favorite proverbs says, "A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children," right? And the second part of it says, and the wealth of the wicked shall be stored up for the righteous. Yeah. So right now, legacy is very important to me because when my father passed away, I had a job to take on his legacy. And then what I use right now is NFTs to tell a story of it. And now I started telling it this year. I just started telling the story using NFTs. So it's just about telling the story of legacy, which I'm actually fighting for. But my father, which he had my brother who produced the track. We were just talking about this. He produced the track. So he got his son producing the track. He got his other son singing, rapping, doing reggae style music and French singing, rapping on the track in order to tell a story of legacy. So now I get to train the children to see how their father, we didn't, as much as it gets serious and real, and I be wanting to turn into a drill rapper or drill singer, right? And do drill things. You can't do that when it comes to legacy, because you just spoil the entire legacy. So, you know, the legacy has to be leading the children. The children is the one who got to understand. And I also say this: when Jesus came, right? Jesus' whole mission was about his father's business.
Yes.
That's the only time. The only time he was flipping tables when niggas was messing with. Sorry about that, but when it was messing with his father's money.
Yes.
Right? Everything was about his father's work. So our children need to understand the value of their parents' work. It's not just about, because I didn't, honestly, my focus was on music. I wasn't really focused on, and then he's out of sight, out of mind. He's 5,000 miles away. right? So then it took him actually passing and then forcing me to have to take his legacy serious. It shouldn't have to take that, right? It shouldn't take that. It should be where we train our children to see their value, even if, you know, which I love this. Which business is more important? Your father's, you know, 50,000 a year, you know, farm, right? Or your grandfather's 50,000, or your $50 million business that you made today. Which one's more valuable,
The
right?
one you get to keep. The one
Right?
you get
That's a
to
great
keep.
one. Yep. And there's a difference between empire and dynasty, right?
Back
Because
my phone
empires
died.
can be built and then step back, yeah. Empires, he can end on this last question. Empires could be built, but it could be owned by somebody else. But a dynasty is where you build something and then it stays within the family and passes generations, like the Ming
Absolutely.
dynasty, right? So we study all of that. That's why, you know, where we at, and we ready for, you know, Cash Money Deal was about 20 million back then. In a blockchain world, you need about 2B.
Yeah,
Don't let me start
definitely.
talking about no money. You need
Absolutely.
actual,
No, you
yeah,
nailed it,
yeah,
bro.
The
You
CFO,
nailed it.
yeah.
CFO Mike.
2B. I just put it
I'm
out there.
trying to get our brother back in here so he can
I'm
hit us
here.
with a final
He here.
statement.
I heard him.
So yeah, you
I
can take us home.
I'm here.
okay.
My phone died. I had to try to find my charger because I just got back in town yesterday. So our friends were looking for everything. I'm like, where's my charger?
Don't worry about it at all, bro.
Yeah, we
Since
holding
we
you up.
can hear you, I can't pick you up right now, but I'm going to put your picture here.
It's all
But
right.
I want you to answer this question.
Uh-huh.
The legacy of Stephon Long will be found where?
The legacy of me. Oh Jesus. um, my legacy is going to be inside this dance team. Um, my legacy is inside um, the Ice Cream Man video.
Mm.
Whenever you can find those PB Dolla albums, my legacy is there. My legacy will probably be on the field at Clark Atlanta this year. You know what I mean? So
Explain that.
yeah. So so my daughter got accepted to Spelman, and
Yes.
my son got accepted to Clark. So
Yes.
Ooh, that's
Congratulations.
dope.
yeah. So
That's
he's
dope.
he's leaving for school
Crazy.
August 6th. August 6th. So, he's leaving for football camp. So, this is his opportunity to kind of like, even strengthen the legacy even more, and I'm sure he's gonna do great. I think my daughter do a lot better with him being down there as well. So I know they'll be all right. You know what I mean? Like they ain't got
Well,
no
they
choice.
out here with me in Atlanta, so you ain't even worried.
Exactly. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried about them. But the legacy that we created now is like I said, this dance studio is one of our babies. You know what I mean? And it's my goal is to leave something behind for my kids or leave an impact on somebody else's kids. You know what I mean? Like my mom before she left this earth. Like what she knew was like when I did music. You know what I mean? She knew who I did music with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I remember this time that we would be leaving out of state, and she'd be like, "Y'all just be careful and get back in one piece." You know what I mean? And it's like
Period.
the strength that she gave me before she left this earth. And then the strength that even my aunt gave me before she left this earth last year. You know what I mean? It was like those were the two figures in my life who made me who I am today. You know what I mean? Like they molded me, they shaped me into being the man I am right now. You know what I mean? And the other pieces that's kind of falling into place that came from just like, believe it or not, changing up my friendships. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to see something different, you gotta do something different. You know what I mean? And so
Change
there
that
was,
circle, bro.
you know what I mean? So there was a good period of time where like niggas talk about being outside. Like, I was outside. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like I was
Yo.
outside. I was all the way
Oh,
outside.
man.
You know what I mean? Like I was outside. I wasn't going in the house. That I was outside like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's crazy because like me and Keith linked up from the 7th grade. We never lost contact. Even if I don't speak to this dude every day, like I can pick up the phone and talk to him like I spoke to him yesterday. And I could go without speaking to him for a month or two, easy. You know what I mean? But it's like, when I pick up the phone, I ain't asleep. Like, nigga, why you ain't called me? Nah, that ain't how we on it. Because I already know, like, he got his own thing going on. Chizzy got his own thing.
Mountains to climb.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The brotherhood.
That's it.
Listen, it
And listen
doesn't
to
mean.
this.
Listen, you are doing things as a fist, as a power movement. You don't have to be with each other every 2 seconds to still stand strong. So,
Hey,
fellas,
La.
yes.
Hey, La, before we sign off, but listen to this. Like, none of us are yes men. That's big. None of us. We're accountability partners. None of us are yes men. So he gonna check me if I'm on some bull. I'm gonna check Mike if he on some bull. Humble gonna check Mike. You know that's how it's supposed to be. Like,
they both check
it
me.
ain't no.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's so necessary.
Yeah, there's nothing that nobody in this circle can't say to each other that's real without with somebody getting offended. Like, there's no room to get offended. Like, bro, if you doing something that's outside of what we got going on, bro, like, nah, you jeopardizing the family. You know what I mean? Like, cut it out, man. Well,
Look, let me jump on that, right? So, you know, I'm blockchain ready, right? So blockchain accomplishes 3 main attributes. You ready? I'm gonna save the best one for last. You're gonna love this, La. The first one is accountability. Right?
Yes.
The second one is transparency. I'm gonna do that one. Right? Transparency. What's the name of this show?
Transparent.
All right. And the third one is immutability. That means never change.
That's it.
You can't change. Those are the 3. So we're in a blockchain world right now, right?
That's it.
That's everything. You know what I mean? And so for anybody who's wondering, you know, the first person with, you know, the hood nigga with the MJ glove, this is from the Politics collection. This is from the Antiquity Project. When we talked about legacy, I actually have a legacy business. Yeah, that's a legacy business. So everything we talked about, when we about to bring the whole PB Dolla on back forefront.
Yes.
We about to bring back something real special, real quick, and it's gonna all make sense because we didn't know everything. We just never was gonna stop. Like what Jay said that we heard from Eric B, bro.
Never stop the music.
We went to Eric B house.
Bro.
And he gave us some game. What's that, bro? I'll let you finish it off because we're running on time. I know it.
Yeah, we're running on time. But Eric B told us, man, he said, yo, never stop the music, man. Never stop the music. That's what he told us. To this day, that's what we got in our head.
Absolutely.
And he said Jay-Z told him that.
Facts.
Well, listen, brothers, I am so sorry that we can't have our boy Stephon's face up here, but he will be having a picture.
I never
hear his voice though. That's all you need.
And we got your spirit. I'm gonna close this out with saying, I'm better because of all of you. I thank y'all for being there, standing in the gap for me. I look forward to seeing our legacies grow.
Absolutely.
And thank you all for joining. Kiandre, Gillespie, Mike Charles, Nahounou, Stephon Long. Thank you for being transparent.
Thank you so much, sis.
Where we do interviews and not interviews. I love y'all.
And I never heard that nowhere else. Shout out to you on your success. when these things get these millions of views,
Absolutely.
we're gonna be blessed to be like, listen, that's our
That's
sis. Please support our sis. It's nothing but loyalty on these lines right here. This is what loyalty looks
That's how
like.
it go.
Don't make me cry. I'm trying to
Blockchain
keep
rules.
these eyelashes, bro.
Yeah, this is what it looked like right here.
All right, let's
Right.
send our
All
love
right.
once again to the rest of the paper boys. We standing with you right here. Chase, Hartford, East Hartford, Connecticut, Boston, New England, Mello, all of y'all. We love
Tri-State.
y'all. We stand strong for y'all. Rest in peace,
Salute.
Trey. Rest in peace, London.
Rest
Love
in
y'all.
peace, Trey.
Definitely.
Rest in peace, London.
Definitely.
Oh, thanks for that.
Yes,
Definitely.
Rest in
sir.
peace, Trey in London.
Bros, big bros.
Connecticut, we stand. We still here.
We still here.
Still here. Ain't going nowhere.
Absolutely. Love y'all.
Love you too,
Love you.
sir.
Love you too.
Y'all.
Just bought this new ice cream truck, man. I got adult treats. I got kid treats. I got treats for people that's small, people that's big. I think I got treats for the whole world. I'm about to circle